I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Ava.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
Yo, this is Reno.
Hello, I'm Brandy.
They call me Pride Slayer.
I'm Bon Manuel.
And we are the Inner Idiot.
Podcast you're about to listen to has crude language, violence, and other things you probably shouldn't let your children listen to. Please enjoy. Hey, Ty, if you wanted to make a podcast, how would you do it?
Spotify Podcasters app, of course. Or hell, even the website.
Do they have any way you can edit audio and help with organizing your episodes?
All that and more. You can reach out to listeners and have feedback with their Q&A feature, and it distributes it to all other major places you listen to podcasts.
I just looked, and they got a video podcast set up and editing tools here, too.
So all you got to do is sign up at SpotifyForPodcasters.com or get the app, and you're done.
Damn, it's just that easy.
And we're back, and this is the first episode of February, and we're going to take something off the shelf that we haven't done in a while, and we're going to dust it up, we're going to spit on it a little bit and rub it, make it shine. You know, that didn't sound dirty at all. But we used to do this thing called In This Day in History, and obviously we've been around for a while, so we started repeating days. But now, first episode of the month, we're going to talk about the month of February, and this is going to be the new kickoff for the rest of the year, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. You know how we like to change things.
Yeah.
So February actually means, it's derived from a Latin word that means to cleanse or to purify. Did you know that, Shorty?
I did not.
What about you, Aaron? Did you know that?
I did not know that. I learned something today.
Look, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to teach the masses. All right? So originally, February was the last month of the year.
Okay.
Until 450 BC. Is that how you say it, 450, or is it just 450 BC?
Either one would work.
Before Cheerios, right?
Yes.
Yes. It was actually that's when it was put into place, was 450 BC. February 2nd is Groundhog's Day. That's a weird fucking holiday, right? Like, we just lit a fuck.
That shit is stupid, and I hate it.
Right.
Because you know how it works, right?
Yeah, a fucking rodent comes out of a hole, and if it sees its shadow, then yeah.
Yeah, 6 more weeks of winter. You know what happens if it doesn't see its shadow?
What?
A month and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, what now?
If it sees its shadow, 6 more weeks of winter.
That's a month and a half.
Huh. It's amazing. Dude, that's what I'm saying. It pisses me off. Dude, I was like 11 when it was explained to me, and I looked at my dad like he was retarded, because I'm like, I can't be smarter than my dad. This isn't right. And I said that, and he was like, I know, that's the joke. And I'm like, people are celebrating this, Dad. It's not a joke to them. He said, but it is. And I was like, no, these people are serious.
But I didn't know this.
Well,
I never paid that much attention.
you were today years old.
Damn. That stupid fucking groundhog.
That's what I'm saying. He has one job, and it doesn't even have a real requirement.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of hoping we have a groundhog, because groundhogs are the same things as woodchucks, which I found out.
Really?
Back. Yeah. Apparently, they're the same critter.
Huh. Is it
and
like
my neighbor has a woodchuck under his shed, so on February 2nd this year, I'm going to go outside and wait and see if he comes out, and if he doesn't, I'm going to do absolutely nothing, because it's not going to change shit. But with how cold it's been around here recently, I'll be surprised if he comes out.
I'd like to go wherever the fuck they have that big old party with the fucking groundhog and shit, and now just look at it and go, that's not a groundhog, that's a woodchuck.
I did not know that either.
No, that's news to me.
Look, how cold is it in Wisconsin right now?
Well, actually, I'm in Illinois right now. I grew up in Wisconsin.
Oh.
But I live a little south of Chicago now.
Chicago's cold as fuck, always.
Yeah, usually. Let's see. Today we are at a balmy 9 degrees.
Ooh,
So
no thank you. That's about what we were at this morning when I woke up.
Yeah, no, it was like -4 when I took the dog out this morning.
Fuck that. We're in a heat wave right now, though. I think it's up to like 15.
When I checked, when I looked at my thermostat in my car, it said 16.
Yeah. All right. So February 10th is the Lunar New Year. I don't know what that is.
Lunar's the moon.
Yeah, I know that, but like, why is it a new year for the moon?
Because that's when it does a full orbit.
God, you're so smart.
Well, it's got something to do with the winter solstice too.
See, these
The
are
winter solstice is before Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, no, but it's in my notes here. Give me a second. I reckon he said it. Lunar New Year, the first new moon after the winter solstice.
Ah, gotcha.
Solstice. There we go.
solstice.
Words are
That's
hard.
kind of a hard word to say, isn't it?
Solstice?
Yeah. You know what else? I want to hear you both try this. Is say Irish wristwatch.
We've been over this.
Irish.
See, it's
Nope.
Yeah,
Irish
Tyler
wrist-
sat down
I
and
couldn't do it.
practiced it for fucking 5 hours.
you know, another hard one to say is Mr. Shit Show.
Mr. Shit Show?
Oh, you got it. on the first
I just
try.
call him Mark. It's a guy I work with.
I just call him Tyler.
Damn, shots fired at Mr. Shit Show.
Yeah.
All right, February 12th is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. We all know Honest Abe. I kind of want to go to the movies now.
Why?
Oh, it's the
That's the
theater.
theater.
Well, you know,
That's a stage play.
whatever.
Other than that, how was the play?
Right. February 13th is Mardi Gras, aka Fat Tuesday, and I have never loved a holiday more than one where we get to see titties for beads. I mean, I'm never gonna date these women that show me their titties before I get to see them in a personal setting, but I still like to see the titties. Aaron, let me get your opinion on something. All right, if you're a single man and a woman right out the gate sends you a picture of her hoo-haws, how are you taking that?
Probably left-handed.
Yeah,
I appreciate that's response.
Honestly, I don't know. I've been. It's been so long since I've been single that I probably am a really bad frame of reference. Because like when I was single, if somebody wanted to send you a titty picture, it involved a Polaroid and an envelope. So it's like I really don't have a good.
That's
I really
the
don't have a
kind
good
of
frame
male I
reference.
want.
that would
Right?
be. Look, now let me tell you what.
All
if-
fan letters can be sent to Aaron at I had to say it. Actually, I don't have a PO box or nothing.
Ladies, I will give you my home address.
now, if somebody went through the trouble of mailing me a Polaroid before they sent it to me, I would accept that. I'd be like, you know what? Let's go ahead.
That wouldn't mark it off your dating list?
No.
So that they put in some effort with that one. Though, you
Yeah.
know? It's different. That's not like I just hopped out of the shower and had my phone with me.
So I have this.
I set up a camera. I had to get some film developed. I had to write a letter.
Right. That's why Polaroids were invented, so you could take the nudies without having to take it to the fucking I don't even remember what they're called now. Somewhere to get them developed.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a name for those places, and I can't remember it.
Well, there was like the photo hut type thing.
Yeah, the photo hut.
You can't call it a development station.
That just sounds
That's
wrong.
what I'm saying.
All right.
It doesn't sound right, does it?
All right, so
I used to
ladies,
just go to Walgreens.
yeah, right, or
Yeah.
Kroger, or Remke, or any of those places. So, ladies, if you want to send me titty pics, you got to do it on a Polaroid, put it in an envelope, and mail it to Shorty's house. No more sending them to me over the phone.
You can put Shorty's name on it. That way it's not a crime if I open it.
Yeah, there we go. All right,
I
let's-
like boobies too.
February 14th. We all know what day that is. It is Valentine's Day, and this year it is also Ash Wednesday. And then February 29th, we all know that.
everybody can burn their fucking love life too.
Right.
God, I hate Valentine's Day.
All right, now a few fun facts about February, and then I'm going to let you guys do your stuff. All right? Over time, the length of February kept changing. At one point, it had as little as 23 days. 20, that's a quick fucking month right there. So, fun fact, how many months of the year have 28 days, Shorty?
All of them.
Okay. I was really hoping you would have missed that one, but
Nope.
all right, Northern.
That was on a Laffy Taffy wrapper. What the hell?
It probably was, wasn't it? What's your favorite Laffy Taffy, Aaron?
This is not going to be a popular answer, but I'm going to go with banana.
Banana's my favorite too, so it's popular enough.
I don't like Laffy Taffies.
Well, you're a fucking killer of joy as well. So, the northern hemisphere, February is the third month of winter. The southern hemisphere, it is the last month of summer. That to me is wild. Because I have friends in Australia that always be like, when it's winter for us, they're like, oh, it's our summertime, and that seems very weird to me. But you know. February is one of the most misspelled words in the English language. Do you know how to spell February without looking at anything? Well, you can't spell anyways. Aaron, do you know how to spell February?
I was like, hold on.
I can't spell either. So I'm the wrong one to ask.
Can I write it and spell it at the same time? Can I do that? Is that cheating?
Yeah, go ahead. While you're doing that, like I feel like whoever named these months is the same person that named
That ain't right.
the days of the week. So like whoever's job it was to name February and to name Wednesday and to come up with the spelling, they need to be shot.
I concur.
Because we should that, or we just need to change how we say them. So Wednesday is now
February.
Wednesday. February is
Wednesday, yeah.
February. It's so fucking weird. All right. Anyways,
That's why I abbreviate everything. Man.
Feb.
I can remember 3 letters really good.
And what they stand for. All right. February is the only month that is possible not to have a full moon, and I call BS on this. Because if you know me, you've seen my whole ass at least once in the month of February.
Shut up. That's gross.
Odds of being born on leap year are... Let me get your all's guesses on this.
Man, there's a goddamn R right there.
Yeah, see? What do you think?
I put Febtober just to be funny.
Febtober?
Febtober.
What do you think the odds are of being born on a leap year? Like on February 29th?
1 in 4.
Really? That's your guess?
Yeah.
That was going to be my guess too. So I'm not gonna.
There's
judge too
one
harshly.
leap year every 4 years. So.
No.
But then you also only got a chance of being born.
Oh
on that day,
yeah,
one out
yeah.
of
So you got 365. So you got to do that number 3 times. Yeah.
1 in 1,300 and something.
That's really close. It's 1 in 1,461.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a lot higher than that, but I'm an idiot. February, March, and November always start on the same day of the week unless it's a leap year. I don't know if I believe this one either, but I have always said, man, my birthday feels like it's on a Tuesday every year. So we're going to have to look into that one. And the last one I got for you is February 2nd, 1848. The U.S. and Mexico signed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which ended their war. U.S. paid. How much would you pay for just one state?
Which state?
Yeah, let's just say it depends.
Well, they bought all these states: California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and Texas.
I'd pay a good amount for Colorado. I like that state.
Colorado's nice. Let's say $84. I mean, you got to remember this was like 1804 or whenever it was.
1848.
1848.
So $50.
I'm going to say 3 slaves, a lump of coal, and like 15 potatoes.
Well, you were close with 15 because the number is 15 million.
Oh.
And that's a steal, man. For all them states, that's a lot of land.
Depending on the slave, that was worth it.
God. Look,
What? It was legal back then.
This is February. We can't talk about slaves in February.
Why? They could have been Asian.
Oh, well, true.
There was a railroad that needed to be built.
This is true.
Racist?
Wow. So that's my...
I mean, by that argument, they could have been Irish too. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, potatoes.
But we do love the potatoes. So that's my fun fact for February. What do you guys got? I see you got some comic book stuff pulled over.
Yeah, I got a list of heroes.
All right.
And ironically, like the second roster of one of my favorite teams in all of comic books was introduced on February 25th, 1975, and it was the second roster of the X-Men, which included Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Ilyana Rasputin.
If Gambit ain't in it, it ain't the X-Men for me.
Gambit wasn't introduced until later.
Who's your favorite X-Man, Aaron?
My favorite X-Man. I'm gonna go with Bruce Jenner.
Yep, that is a good one.
He's an X-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, that might have been grasping. Real answer. I was actually always a fan of Colossus. I think he was very underrated because
Colossus is dope. I love Colossus,
especially in the later episodes where some of his powers got more explored.
Oh yeah. I'm here for it.
But like with stuff when like they had him fighting Omega Red and stuff like that, I was just like, yes. Plus, I think it'd be really awesome to be able to turn into living metal.
Yeah. Next is on February 4th, everybody's favorite blind acrobat, Matt Mercer, the Daredevil, came out in 1964.
I thought it was Murdoch.
Murdoch.
Oh, Matt Mercer. Who am I thinking of? Oh, that's the D&D guy. My bad.
Yeah.
I was talking D&D earlier to my buddy Dorman. Sorry, Matt Murdoch. My bad. Sorry.
Hey, mark this day in your calendars. It is not very often I get to correct Shorty on something comic
You know what's
book
fucked
related.
up is I even read it.
All right, give us one more.
The last one on my list is going to be February 26th is John Constantine.
Okay, that's when he was released.
He came out in 1985. The first appearance was in the Saga of Swamp Thing.
Okay. Constantine's dope. And a lot of people when that Keanu Reeves version of Constantine came out didn't realize it was a comic book property.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know they actually made that movie canonized inside the comic books?
Did they really?
Yeah. There was an issue of the DC Dark Label that came out in 2019, I want to say. And John Constantine was opening up a void to the multiverse to try to get to hell so he could withdraw somebody's soul or something like that. And while he was opening up the void into the multiverse, it showed clips from different iterations, including his original appearance in 1985, the New 52 appearance, the DC Rebirth, the Earth Zero rendition, and even the Keanu Reeves one. And it had like Keanu Reeves' face in it and everything like that, which I thought was a neat homage to everybody. I thought that was pretty sweet. So, yeah, they canonized the movie. The movie is canon in DC.
I love it. All right.
Perfect.
Aaron, what do you got for us today for the month of February?
Well, a lot of what I had you already covered because you were very thorough. But a couple you missed is February 15th is Susan B. Anthony's birthday, which leads to my favorite American coin.
That's a silver dollar?
Yeah, it's the little one that's kind of hexagonal shaped.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It had the weird edges on it because she's a woman's right leader for the people who don't know that. So we can hold that against her, but the coin's cool.
Right? Who was the woman's left leader? Was that you, Shorty? Who was the woman's left leader? Was that you?
Yeah.
Equal rights and lefts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's also Flag Day in Canada for listeners north of the border there. But
That is our second most popular country listened to. And so, hey, Canada, we didn't forget about you.
I appreciate you guys.
I'd appreciate you more if you'd take the leaf off the golden arches. That's just blasphemy. I was actually when my friends and I took a little trip up to Canada, and we almost got in a fight with a hockey team. Well, we did get in a fight with a hockey team, but that was later on. But it almost happened earlier too because we stopped and grabbed something to eat, and as we're walking into McDonald's,
I've been trying to get my friends to go to Canada with me.
Oh, it's a hoot. It's fun. You guys should go with Shorty to Canada. It'll be a blast.
I'm here for it. I just got to get my passport.
Well, back then you didn't need a passport. All you needed was a driver's license. So
Get it.
the old days. But we went up there because we were all like, 19 and thought it'd be fun to go drink legally. And so
Yeah,
went
that's
to
a good
Canada.
reason, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to do it within the law, gang.
Especially when all you needed was a driver's license. And we had a pickup truck that we literally filled the bed of the truck with beer before we came back to the States. So
Yeah,
it
now
was
that's a fucking federal crime.
yeah. I mean, it was a good trip. We just paid the duty at the border, and that was that. But Yeah, we went walking in to go grab lunch, and my buddy's like, "What the fuck is this maple leaf on the Golden Arches? Shit, that's blasphemy! That's an American institution. You fucking Canadians put a damn leaf in the middle of it. Fucking syrup drinking motherfuckers.
Syrup drinking motherfuckers.
Now, and the funny thing is, this is like one of my best friends in that I've had in my entire life. Love the guy dearly. But I'm saying that to qualify the fact he is a fucking idiot. He's like maybe 6'1" and like $135, right?
Straight
Jesus
Tall,
Christ.
skinny. You know, his go-to move if we get in a fight is to curl up in a ball and flail. So,
How
it's
do you
like,
do one and that? Like, how do you curl and
when
flail?
your limbs are long enough, you curl up and you kind of look like a spider. And yeah,
makes sense.
It's
I
sight
get
to
it.
behold.
I just want to see it.
I used to tell people like, yeah, he's $135 if you count all the piercings and the tattoo ink, because he's just this goofy hardcore punk dude that, like I said, great guy, love him to death, but he's got a fucking mouth on him like he's a 7 foot tall, 375-pound football player. And I'm like,
I
"Dude,
understand.
We're severely outnumbered, and you can't fight. Shut the fuck up." Like, there's a whole hockey team over there looking at us. Count the mullets. Stop.
Count the mullets.
Not the mullets.
God.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, "Hey, how you doing there? Hey, maybe you should shut your boy up." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm working on it. You just let me get him a Big Mac, and we'll be on our way, okay? Get some gravy for my fucking fries."
Hey,
But-
gravy on fries is
Oh, no,
majestic.
I love poutine. It's a lovely thing.
It
Cheese
really
curds,
is.
gravy, fries. Oh my god, I'm in fat kid heaven with that shit.
The French call it poutine.
Did you see fucking over in the UK they put fucking peas in that shit?
What?
Yeah, I'm not there.
No, that's fucking weird. Give me the gravy, the cheese, and the fries.
I also
and I'm
think
happy.
beans and toast is a fucking weird idea.
Yeah, I've tried it. I mean, I'm one of those people. I'll try anything once,
Sure.
I mean, within reason. But yeah, I tried beans and toast. It just didn't work for me. I do like an English breakfast though, so that's
What is beans and toast? Like what kind of beans?
Baked beans.
baked beans
and toast.
on toast.
Oh, that is good though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
here
not
for
a
that.
fan of baked beans anyway.
I love baked beans.
Yeah, I'm particular about mine.
Baked beans, flicked beans. I'm here for all the beans.
We are okay.
I
We are
flick
here for
more-
the bean.
I flake more bean than a Starbucks barista.
No, you don't. Lies.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Sadness ensues.
Sadness ensues.
I think I have a button for that.
I yelled that yesterday. Bro,
All right. Well,
that was literally my last night.
I got one assignment for you here today, and I'm gonna say that's all we got for today, and I need you to say so. In the meantime, look, he knows.
I listen to the show.
He's a listener. I love this.
All right, so that's all we got for today.
So in the meantime,
In the betweens time.
Remember, great minds think alike, but idiots rarely disagree. Cue the music. We out. Drop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, cause it ain't wet from sweating. We ain't done yet. Welcome to Inner Idiot Podcast, where we just want to touch your insides. And when I say touch your insides, you can take it however you want, because at this point, I'm here for touching insides, and so is Shorty, and I'm sure our guest is today too. I am your host, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly MC Tyler Havlin. And I talk slow and I walk slower, and you're giving me a look. Go ahead and 2 claps and a Ric Flair for me. Woo! It feels really weird having to ask for that, but you had a look going on.
I was just curious about something, and I'm just gonna ignore it because I'm I'd be nitpicky if it were, if I wasn't.
Okay, well, you hear his voice. He is the Lord that's never bored, the commander of the comic books. He's been pecking kitty and grabbing titty and being nitpicky since 1991.
And the keeper of secrets. Ha 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 ha.
And the keeper, yeah, the fucking, I hate you right now. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Lord Shorty Fresh in the flesh.
Woo!
And next up, we've been trying to get you on for a while. Another one of them ones where I've been like trying to get somebody on for a while and schedules didn't match up and my brain didn't work.
This is the real reason you took off for Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. It was for him.
Now I have to feel special.
Yeah.
If you want to know how he feels, he'll tell you. From I Had to Say It podcast. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Aaron. Woo!
Well, hi guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on, man.
He's got a real professional podcast voice.
He does.
My pleasure. Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. People are like, man, you got a voice. And I'm like, yeah, otherwise I would not be able to talk. I have a voice.
This is true. Hey,
As long as they're not saying you got a voice for silent movies, you're okay.
No, but I do get face for radio a lot. Which
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
hey, when you got a face for radio and a voice for silent movies, you do podcasts. That's
Pretty
just
much, yeah.
That's the way it works in the world these days.
That's right.
Yeah, and I decided to run with it. That's why I don't do a lot of video podcasts.
Well, don't worry. Only first half of ours today is going to be video. The second half will be archived, and no one will ever see it. They'll just hear it.
And that's okay. I mean, if they want to look at this, that's on them. I'm just saying I hold no liability when you have trauma and fever dreams later where you're like, it was coming at me. It was coming at me.
My guy said fever dreams. Wet dreams, fever dreams, they're all the same around here. Bald is beautiful.
Yes, it is. Good for us.
So you know the rules. You're up first. Today is about you, at least the first segment, and we want to hear all your good stories that are going to make us laugh.
All right. Well, I am one of those people, like a lot of things that have happened to me over the course of my life are the kind of things where people hear it and they just go, "You're bullshitting." And I'm like, not really. Like I wish I could have documented my like late teens, early 20s, but that, I was way before reality because I'm an old fuck. For anyone who's on the audio only portion of things, I got gray beard and stuff. I'm a geezer. I hit my late teens in the late 90s. I'm old, but it was before reality TV was really a thing. I mean, that was when MTV still played music and they had like one show, and that was God, I forgot what it is. Anyway, it was
TRL?
It was the one where they had people and they all lived together.
Real World.
Thank you.
I loved that show.
God.
Yeah, I a couple of my buddies and I actually sent in an audition tape for that one year. We were all very disappointed we didn't get picked. Honestly, they could have just put cameras in our apartment and it would have been like ratings galore, because again, like I said, a lot of ridiculous shit happened that people would not believe those were the kind of things that would actually happen. We're like, how are you not in jail? Like, not in jail because I'm gifted. I have, because not only do I have a decent voice, but I have a really solid gift for running my mouth. And when I used to hang out with my more questionable friends in my youth, I've kind of, as I've gotten older, I've sort of either they've grown up, gone to jail, or we've just kind of grown apart. But when I used to hang out with my more questionable friends in the more questionable neighborhoods, I was always the guy that Dave Chappelle said at one point, you got to have that one white friend because somebody's got to talk to the cops. Or Captain Williams said the same thing. I think it was one of those two guys. But they both talked about like the one white guy that hung out with a bunch of brothers.
Yeah.
And that was kind of me, except for my friend group was a little more eclectic. It was not just a bunch of black guys. It was me and a couple black guys and a couple Hispanic guys, and but all kind of hoodish tendencies.
I'm here for the hood rat shit.
Yeah, we were definitely on some hood rat shit.
I'm here for hood rat shit.
I was the guy who, like, when the cops roll, it was like, somebody go get Aaron. Like, go talk to him. And I'm like, I got this, guys. And, 10 minutes later, the cops are laughing and driving off, and my friends are just like, how do you do that? I don't freaking know. It just works. Like, I at one point...
It's white privilege in action, gang.
Well, that would be part of it, except for the other white guys didn't get it either. So they just like,
oh, wow.
They'd be like, how do you do that? And like, I don't know. I'm charming, I guess. Fuck.
Their fucking white, their white privilege cards was their
white privilege cards were expired.
Yeah, expired. That's the word.
But yeah, we accidentally threw a house party one time.
Accidentally threw a house party?
Yeah, accidentally, we told these like 3 girls that we were trying to get to come back to the crib that like, oh yeah, no, you guys should come by the house. It'll be awesome. You know, we don't have to spend a bunch of money on bullshit trying to get you guys into this bar because you don't have good fake IDs because we were like 19 at the time.
Right.
Like and the only good side to being me is I looked like I was 40 since I was like 16. So I
understand.
basically, yeah, I never got carded for anything. So we always had liquor and stuff. And so we're like, yeah, we should, instead of trying to get into this bullshit club, why don't you guys come back to our place and we'll hang out and it'll be awesome. And so me and my roommates just get these girls and they're like, okay, where's your address? And we give them the address and we go back to our place. Next thing you know, there's like 35 cars parked up and down my street in front of my apartment. And like 120 random ass people I don't know in my 2-bedroom apartment, because my 2 roommates actually it had like a master bedroom and a small bedroom. I had the small bedroom and my 2 roommates split the master bedroom.
Yeah.
And so just so we could try and keep the rent reasonable, And so, like I said, little 2-bedroom apartment, like just shoulder to shoulder, asses and elbows. And all of a sudden, some random drunk kid comes in, like, who lives here? I'm like, why? I'm like, this is my place. What do you want? Dude, the cops are here. Fuck's sake. Great. This apartment was actually like the upper of a duplex.
Yeah.
So we had this super sweet, like 112-year-old lady that lived downstairs that went to bed at like 4:30. And she was deaf as a post, so we could throw a party and she would never notice. So they were like, "Do you think the old broad called the cops?" I'm like, "No, I think there's a bunch of drunk assholes, and somebody called the cops. Let me go handle this." So, I go staggering down the stairs, half in the bag myself, at all of, like I said, like 19, maybe I was 20 at this point. Hard to say. I was still illegal either way. Like, what can I do for you, Oshifer? And they're like, well, what's going on here? I'm like, well. Honestly, I don't really know. I was hanging out with this girl. She's kind of hot. I was, trying to make some headway with her. And I said, why don't we go back to my place? You can bring your girlfriends. They can meet my roommates. I said, next thing you know, I got like 100 people I don't know hanging out in my house. I'll make you a deal. I'm going to throw everybody out. You guys park right up the street. You'll hit your quota in like 20 minutes. Just leave me alone. And and the cop looks at me. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "No, dude, seriously. I don't know these people. I don't like these people. We're good.
You were just trying to get laid
under the bus." Yeah, I'm not exactly. I was just trying to get some. I'm not getting none with 100 people in my house. If I can get 75 of them out, I might have a chance. and
I like your
these
math.
ain't my friends, so let's work something out. Just don't give me a ticket. And the cop starts laughing. He goes, "All right, well, we're here because we found these 2 girls in a bush down the street from here.
What the fuck?
They said they were coming from a party at your house, and they were completely intoxicated. I'm going to make you a deal. Keep everybody in the house. Nobody drives, nobody leaves, and I won't arrest anybody." I was like, "You, sir, are a god amongst men. I will be more than happy to keep all these random assholes I don't know in my house until they sober up. Thank you for your understanding." And I proceed to walk back to the doorway. I look in and I'm like, I don't even want to try and fight my way up these stairs. "Hey, you assholes! Nobody leaves!" And I hear the cop and like his backup officer behind laughing as they get back in their car. And I'm just like, it's gonna be that kind of night, And I go in and literally 30 seconds after I get in the door, somebody falls down the stairs at me. I'm like,
fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm glad you did this after the cops left. I'm like, this is why people think teenagers are stupid, because y'all do this kind of dumb shit. And my roommate's like, "Well, who called the cops?" I'm like, "Nobody." Remember them 2 drunk, like middle school girls that showed up? We threw out.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, no, they I don't know. I honestly don't know how young they actually were, but I could tell they were younger than everybody else that was already in the house. And I was like, "Nope, you're somebody's little sister. You need to get the hell on." I'm not.
Right.
I'm not being accountable. I may be a scumbag, but I'm not that flavor of scumbag. Okay. So you need to take your ass back to your house, do your middle school homework, work on your times tables or whatever you got to do, but get the fucking, you ain't coming in here.
Right.
I'm like, last thing I need is a lawsuit or somebody, you were contributory to the delinquency of a minor and statutory this. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. So I threw these 2 girls out. I wouldn't let them in the house. They wound up staggering like 3 blocks and falling over in somebody's front yard. and the cops found him literally in a bush with like their legs sticking up in the air.
That's
because
awesome.
they couldn't walk. And then they told him, "Oh no, we came from this party right up the street." Like little bitches.
They weren't even in the party.
Exactly.
They
weren't
were
even in the
hammered as
party.
fuck, but they knew your exact address.
Yeah. Well, no, they just said up the street and pointed to the big yellow and white house.
Likely story.
My house was very distinct.
Oh, okay.
You had one of them bright houses?
Oh, it looked like my landlord was a very interesting man. It was actually my buddy's grandpa, which is probably the only reason he rented to us, to be honest, because there's a bunch of asshole 19-year-olds with no credit. Yeah, I'm sure landlords are falling all over themselves to bring us in.
Right.
But yeah, so my buddy's grandpa owned this place, but man, he had some very interesting taste. I think his color schemes were whatever happened to be on clearance at Home Depot at the time. So
I can respect that.
Well, me too. I'm a cheap bastard. At the same time, I do have a little bit of sense of aesthetics where I'm not going to be like, you know what would be fantastic? That lemon yellow with white accent trim and a big ass green porch. Yeah,
Jesus.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, and you got to bear in mind this is in Wisconsin, so it's not even like you can say, well, it's warm and festive weather. No, it's
yellow and
it's
green. That's the Packers colors, though.
Yeah, but they weren't the right shades of color for the Packers colors.
Oh, okay.
That's more like a forest green and a gold.
And this was like
lemon and fucking neon green. It was horrible.
Now, houses like that in the South signify drug dealers. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, I'll let you in on a secret. Houses like that in the North, people assume you sell drugs.
They also signal drug dealers.
Yeah. Well, it was actually kind of funny because that house was close enough to like the hood where a blizzard came rolling through one winter. Like literally, I was working third shift, and at the time, I was literally the only guy on my crew under like 45. Mm-hmm. It was like there was me at 20 years old, and then a bunch of dudes that were like 2 years out from retirement, and all my friends were like either in college or doing day jobs or day school or whatever the hell they were doing. Where I didn't have a lot of friends that were up at night, so I kept really weird hours, sleeping like 2 or 3 hours a day. And one day this blizzard comes rolling in, and I'm already up because it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I know all the other fuckers that I work with are still sleeping because they get off of work and drink until they pass out and then come back to work the next night and do it all over again. And they're, like I said, they're all like 60. So I know they're not up yet. So I called my boss and I was like, yeah, hey Dave, I'm not coming in tonight. I'm not feeling very well. And he's like, you saw the weather report? I said, I saw the weather report. He said, you're really going to do this to me? And I said, I'm sick. And he was just like, what about everybody else? I'm like, everybody else lives in that trailer park a mile away from the factory. I live on the other side of town. I'm taking a sick day, boss. And he was just like, oh, you're killing me. I said, you'll still have 6 senior citizens that you'll be able to use at your leisure. I'm taking a sick night, bud. Because I was actually on the nighttime maintenance crew, which was a fancy way of saying janitors. And
wait a minute.
Well, I'm just saying they tricked me into taking the job. Not that I cared, because I don't judge. I mean, it's a legit job. I made better money than most of my friends. Mm-hmm. I got a $1.50 an hour shift premium because, again, late 90s, that was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I was 20 years old in 1999, making like $13 an hour, which for somebody with no dependents, no real bills, that was great money.
Right.
So I was not about to judge. I just didn't like the way they got me to do it because I was working day shift in this factory, and they were like, I'm not a morning person. I never have been. So I'm like, just get me off this shift, please. And like once a week, I would stop in the HR department, like, anything open up at night or second shift, either of them, anything where I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to be to work on time. And they were like, no. And then one day the lady's like, hey, Aaron, come here. You didn't stop in today. I'm like, yeah, I gave up. She's like, well, no, I got something if you want. She says, would you be comfortable doing maintenance? And I'm thinking, like, in terms of the first shift maintenance guys. And basically what they did is they would sit around and wait for shit to break, like the assembly lines and stuff. Yeah. And they would sit on fork trucks and drink coffee and wait for shit to break. And I'm like, I can sit on a fork truck and drink coffee and wait for shit to break. I'm actually really good at sitting around and waiting for shit to break. I'm very skilled. I drink coffee like a champ. Sure. I can do that. No problem. And they're like, well, great. Can you start tonight? And we know it's going to be a weird thing, but that'll get you in and you'll have your whole day off Friday to recoup. And I'm like, because this was like Thursday morning. And I'm like, yeah, sure. What the hell? Let's do it. So I go home and try and take a nap, and I come back that night, and I'm like, hey, I'm Aaron. I'm the new maintenance guy. Which fork truck should I be sitting on? I mean, I know where the coffee machine is. We're good. What do I got to do?
Yeah.
And my new boss is like, all right, come this way. He's like, okay, this is your utility closet. Here's your keys. Here's all your cleaning supplies. You're going to be responsible for the employee locker room, these 2 sets of bathrooms, and the cafeteria. And I'm like,
so it was legit.
Something's going to break in the cafeteria? He's like, no, we clean the facility at night. That's what third shift maintenance does. And I'm like, so I don't have to worry about shit breaking, and I just have to clean? And he's like, well, when you say it like that, it sounds kind of reductive. If something breaks, we do have to address it. And I'm like,
save it for day shift.
He says, but we just put a sign on it till day shift gets here. Because they're, that's all the certified guys. Oh, all right. He's like, all right, well, come meet the crew. And I come meet the crew, and I'm like, wow. If I showed up in a robe, you guys would freak the fuck out. You're all waiting for death. Hey, whatever, you little son of a whore. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fit in here real good. And so I start working with all these geriatrics, and they were great guys. But by the time I quit that job, I went from being responsible for the locker room and the cafeteria to the entire north half of the plant by myself, and they took care of the rest of it. So, just because I would get tired, I would be done, and then they'd be like, well, come give us go help so and so. Like, okay. And I just wound up taking over like half of the building.
So with all these old guys, did the position open up because one of them finally kicked the bucket? Is that how that happened?
That's what I asked. I was like, okay, so who died? I know Rolf is the oldest guy on the crew now, because he was like literally a year and a half out from retirement. So I'm like, okay, did somebody die or did somebody retire? Why did the job open up? And they're like, well, we can't really talk about that. And then one of the other guys tells me the first time we go take a cigarette break, he's like, yeah, no, he got busted. He was cooking meth in his trailer. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Nice. I got the job because somebody's in county. Fucking sweet.
Hell yeah.
And then I was
little
like,
blessings.
This is also how I found out they all lived in the same trailer park. And
so they were all smoking the same.
They woke
meth.
me up because he was getting picked up, and cops were beating on the wrong wall. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
See, that's why you ended up taking over half the building, because all those guys had lost their meth dealer. And that's what was keeping them working so hard and cleaning the whole fucking building.
Down.
They were like, fuck, our meth is gone. We're slowing down now. Shit. That's awesome.
But yeah, that was also, like I said, that was the case where I was like, I'm up during the day and I see this storm coming in. I'm like, nope, not dealing with it.
Yeah.
Called up my boss, like, yeah, I'm not coming in. I'm sick. He's just like, you're killing me. I'm like, no, we know what's happened. There's a blizzard coming in. There's a very real chance they're going to call the day. And you're just going to have to be out there salting the parking lot by yourself. But you got that friggin' brand new truck with the brand new plow on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
But, so you fast forward, it's the middle of the night. It's like 1:30 in the morning. There's a fucking blizzard going on. And I'm used to being up anyway. So I'm like sitting in my living room playing Gran Turismo or something, and old school PlayStation 1.
Gran Turismo was a great choice.
Yep. And all of a sudden my doorbell starts ringing. So I'm like, the hell's going on here? And I go walking down the stairs, and I open up the door, and it's a buddy of mine. He's like, dude, I got caught up. It's a blizzard. I'm not going to make it home. Can I crash here? Because his job was like half a mile up the road from my place. And apparently he was there till like 10 o'clock. And then it took him like 2 hours to drive a mile and a half or whatever it was to my apartment.
That's dedication.
Because it was like midnight when he got to my place. And I'm like, well, yeah, come on in. I'm playing video games, and don't expect me to keep it down, but you can crash on the couch. I don't give a shit. My roommate at the time, actually before the guys that were there for the party moved in, my old roommate moved out. So I had like a month where I was just by myself, which was great. But I didn't really need the roommate, but I was trying to help out the guys, because they were like, oh, well, we we need a place to stay, and you got that big extra room, and blah 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 blah, and one of us could move in there with you, and one of us could have the other room. And I'm like, no, I'm keeping the private room to myself. Fuck you guys. You two can sleep together.
Right.
I don't care. But yeah, this was like in a lapse between when they moved in and when my old roommate moved out. So I was like, just me solo, didn't have to worry about nothing. It was awesome.
Look, there's nothing greater than bringing a woman home and fucking with nothing separating you and the people next to you except for a sheet hanging on the wall. It's exhilarating. It really fucking is. It's like, be as loud as you can be, okay? Let's keep that.
I just don't believe you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I gotta be honest. I don't think I've ever been in that situation.
I have. I still remember the first time I was in that situation.
Unless you count camping, but I didn't want to bring that up just because, I've heard Tyler's camping ideas. And
Tyler's like, who needs a woman?
Right?
I just need a hole.
Right.
Yeah,
Preferably a fleshy hole.
A flesh hole.
A flesh hole.
Mouth to mouth, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Mouth to mouth, butt to butt.
Hit.
Dick's a dick. Who gives a shit?
Oh, that almost rhymed. I liked
I know.
it.
I was trying to figure out a way to make it rhyme, but it wasn't going to work.
I liked it.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm dragging this out so long, but in the middle of this blizzard, right after my buddy showed up, doorbell starts ringing like 20 minutes later, and I'm like, who the fuck says it? How many of my asshole friends are going to show up on a Tuesday night in a blizzard? So I go downstairs and I'm going to open the door, and it's just this furry, hairy, dirty, crackhead looking motherfucker who apparently got blown off course a little bit by the weather, because he's like, yeah, look, man, I just need a score, bro. And I'm like, you got the wrong house, man. You're like a block off. Dope spots up that way, man. You just, I mean, I know this house looks bad, but no, this is not the dope spot. And he's like, no, man, I swear I ain't a cop. Like, I know you're not a cop. Cops have dental. Get the fuck off my porch, bro. and he's like, no, just, and he refused to believe that I was not letting him in because I thought
You
he was
weren't a drug dealer, yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm not a drug dealer. I don't have any drugs to sell you. I got like some Tylenol and some Sudafed. I'm like, no, I got nothing for you, bro. And he's, no, man. He starts trying to push his way in. And all of a sudden I hear this. My buddy, who was like listening to all this shit from the top of the stairs, decides he grabs my shotgun out of the friggin' closet, comes over and he racks it like right over my head. And I'm like, you can't shoot the crackhead if I'm standing between you and the crackhead.
It's not how shotguns work.
Not how shotguns work. And this guy's like, I'm not a cop. I'm not a cop. I'm like, we know you're not a fucking cop. Get off my porch before he shoots both of us. And the guy kind of scurries off back into the blizzard. And I'm like, turn around. I'm like, fucking really, bro? Really? He's like, I'm surprised you answered the door after midnight without the gun. I'm like,
you should have
all
went
right.
to work.
I should have gone to work. And so I, went back in and made some hot pockets, and that was actually before I re-embraced my actual career of, because the funny thing is when I say shit like, yeah, I went and made some pizza rolls or something, I always get these dirty looks from people because professionally I'm a chef. That's what I do for a living, right?
I've seen some of the pictures, man. I'm impressed.
That's just screwing around. But yeah, so it's like I tell people something like, yeah, so I was eating these hot pockets the other day, and they look at me like, fucking really, bro? Like, what? They're easy, they're convenient, and sometimes when you do something for 10 hours or 11 hours, you don't want to come home and do the same shit to feed yourself.
Right.
So you eat what's easy. You have some fucking ramen with an egg dropped in it or something, and then you go to bed.
My cousin is a 5-star gourmet Michelin-rated chef. And
Does that mean he cooks for tires? Like, what does that even mean?
no, there's a Michelin star or something like that. I don't fucking know. But he's
I could explain it, but it's a whole
he literally travels the United States and sometimes the world to like help prep a kitchen. Like that's his job. And like help build menus or whatever. And
so he's a launcher.
Yeah,
Good
basically. And he the one time I went up to his house, I stayed 3 or 4 days. And like the first night I get there, fucking 3-course delicious ass meal. The next night, 3-course delicious ass meal. The day before I left, he's like, bro, do you want a fucking pizza? Like, and I was like, yeah, sure. And this motherfucker busts out a fucking Red Baron. And I was like, this makes sense. I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to explain that to people a lot where they're like,
Yeah.
dude, you must have the most amazing meals at home. I'm like, yeah, if it's my day off.
Yeah.
If I'm coming home from work, I'll either eat whatever's left over in the fridge or whatever's easy. Because like it's just the nature of the beast.
All right, with that, we got to take a little break, a little pause for the calls, pay the light bills. We will be right back. Thank you for joining us, Facebook. You can catch the rest of this episode. It'll be the first episode of February, so we love you.